Hi guys, it's lovely to meet you again. So today we're going to talk about the self-love selfie. So what is a self-love selfie and how is it different from a normal selfie? A self-love selfie is a process that I developed about 9 to 10 years ago. During that time I was going through a very difficult time. I was sick and thus it was very difficult for me to accept my physical appearance because I felt weak and very fragile a lot of the times. All I saw when I looked into the mirror was my lack of vitality. I saw how exhausted I was and the circles underneath my eyes. I saw the lifelessness of my skin, my hair, and also white hair started to grow out from my head. And all of these things were a lot of intensity that I wasn't able to accept them all at that time. And then I realized I was very, very deep in confidence. I couldn't feel the value of myself and I was experiencing a lot of self-loathing as well as a lack of self-worth. And I knew I had to find a way so that I can lift myself up from this state. Being a creative, I always had many ideas for projects. And so I developed a project for myself, and it was the self-love selfie. So when I took a selfie, how could it be with love? I'm sure every one of you have taken a selfie before, and so it's no different. I just hold my phone, turn the camera towards myself, and then look into the camera and press the shutter. A self-love selfie is no different. But what I did was, instead of looking into the screen, which I could check my physicality, I could check how I looked, or maybe sometimes I liked it, or sometimes I might critique it, I didn't look into the screen. And I actually only looked into the camera hole, which is the little slot just above the screen. When I looked into the camera hole, I allowed myself and my eyes to just directly focus there. Our eyes are the mirrors to our soul, as the expression goes. So we know that the eyes actually are connected to our heart and to our soul. It brings a part of ourself which is unseen by the physical eye into physicality, which is the photo. So when I took the self-love selfie, actually what I was interested in is not my appearance, because I was very judgmental towards it then. And thus I was trying to look for a part of myself which is unseen by the visible eye, but nevertheless it is very apparent and very present and very real. It's a part of me. So the unseen part of us, which is the energetic part of us, makes up a person equally, as our physicality does. There is a part of us which is felt, which can be felt, and there is a part of us that is our physical shell. So the self-love selfie actually is not about looks. It is not about how we look. It is not about how beautiful or how pretty we are, or vice versa. It is about discovering and exploring and making known, making seen the part of us which we don't usually pay so much attention to. Although this part of me, which is within me, is something that I know always that it's there. because whenever I looked at a photo, I always want to look at that part more, actually. So during this time in this challenge I was going through, I felt it was very important to connect even much more with this part of myself, which is the unseen and the energetic part. Because when I connected to this part, actually I felt that my physicality is something that I don't have to be so bothered about. This doesn't mean I don't take care of myself physically, not at all. But it's like, first of all, I take care of my insides. I take care of my inner part of me. And if I do that and I feel amazing, and if I do that and I feel happy, and if I do that and I feel absolutely precious, then I know there's no way but for me to express similarly on the outside in my physical appearance. However, if I do it in reverse, meaning I only take care of my outer appearance but ignore my inner part, it doesn't automatically mean that my inner part will be taken care of. So therefore, what I realized is the inner part of myself is something I need to pay attention to first and foremost. And if I do that, then my outer appearance and my outer physicality is by default being taken care of. Yeah, so it means what is within me is more important. However, in daily life, most of us, or most of the world, actually only focus about the outside part of us. How we look, how we take care of our skin, our hair, what's the color of our skin, what's the color of the clothes we wear, what is the brand of clothing we wear, how are our features, and all of these things are about our outer appearance. But the fact is, during this time when I explored the self-love selfie, I realized no matter how much attention, money, or time I devote to my outer appearance, it does not necessarily make my inner landscape feel better. So, I'm not saying not to take care of our outer appearance, because that's very important too. But it's the order that we do it. And the self-love selfie encourages everybody to first take care of our inner landscape, to connect and to know there's an inner part of ourselves, and to practice seeing this inner part of you, feeling it, so that we know this is a part that we don't just leave behind or ignore. So, okay, going back to the method of taking a self-love selfie, again, there's no different. We just hold our phone, look into the camera hole, allow the attention of our eyes, all of it, to just look into the camera hole. And we know at that moment that our eyes connecting to our soul is expressing all of our love into the camera hole. And therefore, when our love is being projected out into the camera hole and captured by the shutter, that photo physically that remains is a photo that then reflects back that love you've put out. Does that make sense? Well, the best way to see if this makes sense to you is to practice it. is to take a selfie, or maybe 10 or 100, in the self-love way. So instead of looking into the screen and criticizing how we look, we just allow ourselves that space and that time to look into the camera hole and allow all of us, inside, including outside, to just being captured. Allow all that depth we carry, all that depth of care, warmth, love, joy, amazingness, steadiness, stillness, all of it. Maybe parts of you that you don't reveal so much in day to day, or maybe you do. But those parts of us that we are and we carry, but we simply sometimes hide it, allow it all to be revealed and captured. When we allow this to be captured, we then realize whatever we see in the physical, it does not control us so much, because we know there's a part of us that is there, shining, no matter how we look on the outside. Because on the outside, it is something that we might not be able to control sometimes. For example, there might be days when we are more challenged. There might be days when our sleep is not so good. There might be days when we meet situations which we find difficult. There might be days when we hurt ourselves more. There might be days when we meet somebody that says something that hurts us. Or there may be days when we hurt ourselves. So what I'm saying is, no matter what happens on the outside, and all of those situations may happen or may not, there's a part of us inside of us that remains unchanged. This part of us is always consistent, always permanent, whether we choose to express it in its fullness or not. It's there. So the self-love selfie is a practice for us to not forget that we have this part of us, and to thus every single day connect with it so that it is alive, so that it is not being buried, so that it has a chance to unreservedly express. Because more and more so, when we express it and practice expressing it and then seeing it, this becomes more and more normal. It becomes more and more something that we feel familiar about. And this is actually the anchor. This is actually the solidity of a foundation that we build with ourselves, so that our physical appearance, therefore, has a chance to become similarly and equally, perhaps, as solid as well. Our confidence comes from when our internal part of us and the external part of us are honest. They actually reflect the same thing. If we could be equal on the inside as well as on the outside in expression, we become kind of a unified feeling. And this unified feeling is what gives us strength, and it is what gives us our confidence, a confidence that is unwavering, a confidence that is steady and solid no matter what we face. Of course, we may not be perfect, but that is exactly why we have the tool of the self-love selfie we could practice with. Whether you're challenged or not this moment, if you take the self-love selfie as a daily connecting tool for yourself, just take a selfie whenever you feel to in a self-loving way, then this is a consistency and a rhythm you can build into your daily life. And whenever you do encounter a challenge, you know you already have that foundation. But also, during those challenging times, you could even allow yourself to express or show more of your vulnerability and rawness in front of the camera. Look into the camera hole with all your depth and all your love, no matter how fragile you feel. The photo captured may show your rawness, and it is very beautiful actually to see transparency and rawness. There is a power there that nothing staged can ever reach. But more importantly, the self-love selfie is a tool where in those raw moments, in those times when you feel challenged, you have a go-to and a fallback on to be a cheerleader for yourself, because you may see a challenged face, but when you feel into the photo or the selfie, you will also feel that unchanging and unwavering part of you. So that moment you know and you can be settled that it's okay. And that is the way to lift yourself up and to stay steady no matter what we face. Try it. It's very, very supportive. And let me know how you go.